The next senior band award goes to Rachel Ruggeri. And Rachel, you indicated that you're going to be attending Southeast Missouri State University next year. You'll be majoring in wildlife conservation biology. And your five favorite memories was giving giving your all during every marching band contest. So leaving everything you got on the field, working at it, and you know, on a day of a marching contest, you're giving it your all, but it also takes all day long. So and knowing how you are, I wouldn't expect any less of you. Knowing how you are, I know you give 110% in everything that you do. Also, meeting your best friends through band, and you know that's really true. It's kind of an amazing thing that you know you're in a school of close to 18, 17, 1800 people, and the ones that you're going to probably keep in touch with after you leave high school for a longer period of time are going to be those kids that you met and that you know through band. So that is going to be something pretty special in your life, and you'll see as you get older. The random life lessons from me and Mr. Kramer, and I don't know why. I think it's because I'm around young people all the time, and I see young people with faults. I see them with flaws. I see them making mistakes, and something in me like compels me to just constantly talk about different aspects of life. And sometimes, I mean, you know this. Sometimes it'll just kind of overcome me that I end up talking about something that is not related to music, not related to band, but for whatever reason just compels me to talk about it to you all. And maybe 99% of the time it's going to go on deaf ears. Maybe 99% of the time you all are ignoring me. But maybe that 1% that actually has an impact on somebody and changes something and their thoughts about something for the positive, you know, it would be worth it. So far, my 27 years and maybe another 27 years of just, you know, giving random lessons. If that helps one person, to me, that's worth it in itself. Um, Watching the band make it to MMEA, and I know this was a tough because you were diagnosed right around the time that we were preparing and getting ready to go. You were diagnosed with cancer around that time. We were getting ready to go, and I know, you know, talking to you about it you know, it broke your heart. And you know, you mentioned on here, even though you couldn't physically join us there, that you know it was a great memory for you. And you know, I can tell you that you know you were missed in that capacity, and you know the voyage that you had to endure after that performance was life changing for all of us. And lastly, and this has a big impact on me, that what you wrote here is find a place where you feel belonging, where you feel an actual belonging, and that's important to me. You know, that you feel that camaraderie and that sense of togetherness, that I think probably half the high school kids in Melville are missing. You know, I think, you know, for somebody to actually feel a place that, you know, they're going to accept me no matter who I am, no matter what I am, and my flaws and my strengths, and it's that's a beautiful thing. And some thoughts on you, and you know, I'll be honest with you, this these thoughts on you were probably one of the hardest for me to write because with knowing your voyage and the route that you have taken through your high school career, I can't even begin to talk about the impact from an emotional standpoint, from a humanistic standpoint, I can't even begin to grasp the power. I'm going to try. So, please forgive me if I'm not as effective as I would like to be for you. But by far, I write right here, this is the hardest one for me. And because there's so many things that I want to say to you, there's so many things that I want for you in the future. I can tell you when there was first the talk of your diagnosis and the voyage that you were going to have. I remember you were getting ready to go into surgery literally a few days before, and you guys got a second opinion and went a different direction. And I know it wasn't the quick operate and quote unquote now we're done, but the route that you end up going through Siteman ended up being a long, hard, strenuous, tumultuous road. But and who knows, when you're sitting and looking at something like that, routine surgery is always something that the other guy has. It's not something that you have. But in that case, I remember just having a great amount of fear and a great amount of fear for you. And the amazing part about you through this process is that you seemed even more focused, which I think most kids would have probably pulled away and really wanted to exclude some of those things in their lives that are challenging. You became hyper focused on band and focused on being there. And I remember that fall after that, you were just really bent on marching. And I was so concerned about you. I know I pulled you in multiple times and talked to you about it and said, I'm concerned. You said, no, Brown, I think I can do it. And I know there were days that you came out and you were sick. You were going through chemo treatment and radiation after, I know there were days that you were sick, that you just didn't feel well, and you just pushed it through. And I felt for you. I felt like maybe somewhere along the way I should have just said no. I should have said, no, we shouldn't do this. But at the same time, you had that level of determination. You had that inner voice and that inner power. I had to let it run its course for you. So, watching you go through that, even though it was hard for me, but it was also inspiring for me. When you look at kids and they'll complain about this or complain about that, I'm like, man, you have no idea. What you're complaining about is so insignificant and really nothing in comparison. And the bravery that you approach this, and even still to this day, I think of a funny moment when we were in the band room and there was something going on. I remember somebody talking, and then you said a curse word, and I was like, Ruggeri, stop. And she's like, you were like, hey, Brown, I just beat cancer, so come on, now give me a break here. And we had kind of a little laugh about it. But that you can, even after that struggle, can still approach it, as a victory and as a point of pride. And I know I've talked a lot about your individual voyage with cancer, but I think it is the band voyage, the struggle, the inner turmoil within yourself, and can you continue to do this? Can you improve? Can you grow? And and I'm not trying to dismiss any of your musical contributions and your talents there, because you definitely are very talented and have a lot of musical contributions to the group as well. But I think I remember somewhere I was talking about you in one of my preach classes, and some of the kids are like, I don't know her. And I go, the bald girl, you see her walking around with, and they were like, oh yeah, I know her. So, I think the entire school knew you. And I think probably for some kid that, maybe didn't necessarily know you and know your story as well, seeing you and them going through some difficult circumstances is an inspiration for them. So you've made an impact on me. You've made an impact on my life, and through this process, as you went through this process, I would see my own daughter in you, and I would see, your struggle as I would see my daughter's struggle. So, you made an impact on us. You made an impact on the program, and you made an impact on the history of the program. And I can't thank you. I can't thank you enough for your musical contributions. I can't thank you enough for your inspirational contributions. So, Ruggeri, I definitely feel it's fitting that you receive the Band Pride Award. Thank you.